What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Noob. So, love happens in so many strange ways, especially in the world of manga and anime. Be it finding love in school, at work, on an adventure, or even when playing a penalty game and cross-dressing. Today, I want to talk about a manga that has caught my attention because it is not only wholesome, but it's just hilarious the way the people are in this story. The title of this manga is called While Cross-Dressing, I Was Hit On by a Handsome Guy. Now, first of all, I gotta warn you, this is not going to be some boy love story. It does kind of sound like that, but just go with me and you'll see what I'm talking about. Your main character in this manga is known as Iori. He is a 19-year-old young man, and one day while playing a penalty game with his friends, he was told that he needed to cross-dress. Well, lo and behold, he's one of those kind of pretty boys, so when he cross-dressed, he actually looked like a real girl. And now while he was out walking around trying to figure out how people saw him, he was approached by a very handsome-looking man. Now, this handsome man comes straight up and says to him, "Hey, I'm looking for a cutie to go with me to a sweet shop." This handsome man is known as Hazuki, and before Iori could even say yes or no, he is actually swept along to the sweet shop and is actually on a date with this man. Now, of course, Iori's kind of freaking out. He's like, oh my god, I'm actually a guy. I'm being hit on by a guy. What am I going to do? So he tells this person, hey, I'm a guy. Of course, Hazuki goes, I know that. And, of course, Iori goes, but I like girls. Now, this is where it gets kind of funny because this handsome guy grabs Iori's hands, puts it on his chest, which actually is her boob, and goes, at what point did I say I was a guy? This is when your brain goes, huh? So basically, your main character, Iori, was cross-dressing as a girl as a penalty, but then you have this handsome guy, which is just kind of a more manually kind of woman who dressed up in a business suit. Even though when I was first reading out, I looked at the character and I went, could be boy, could be girl. But when I saw that, I was like, it's one of those types. I love the relationship between these two because Iori, of course, is a young man and he's, has this theory, men should take the lead. Men should be escorts. Men should be, the main character, blah, blah, blah. He's got one of those mindsets. But Hazuki tends to take the lead. By the end of the first chapter, they're already talking about going to a love hotel. In the second and third chapter, they're at set love hotel, and Hazuki, well, let's face it, she leads him to bed, and they end up spending the whole night at a love hotel, which is, quite frankly, hilarious. And then afterwards, Hazuki walks Iori home. In fact, actually, she carries him because he kind of trips. He's also wearing girl shoes. And, she doesn't want him to injure himself, so she carries him. But luckily, Iori does take the steps and asks her to go out again later on. And then it's just the relationship growing from there. Now, as I said, the relationship between these two is quite fun to read. Hazuki is very forward in this relationship. She does tend to take the lead. And it's just the little things she does. Before they separate after their first night together, Hazuki, because she knows his address, sends him a bottle of her perfume that she wore that night because she doesn't want him to forget about her, which he enjoys a lot and apparently empties the bottle in 3 days. I'm not going to ask what he did. I'm pretty sure we all know. During their first date, he still is cross-dressing because that's just how he feels it's going to be. And they go clothes shopping together, and, Hazuki eventually ends up picking out all these things that she wants him to try on, and, of course, then it leads to her pushing him into the changing room and making out with him. Every now and then, Hazuki doesn't take the lead. Iori does find those small moments. There was this one moment when they went to an aquarium where Hazuki is talking about how she doesn't really like them because one time she got separated from her family and she became very scared. Iori kind of does something that I tend to do with my little sister and other people that I know, is he gives her a head pat. and she just tells her it's okay. Yeah, you must have been scared. Blah. You know, he's just being kind of nice. And the thing about it is, it makes her blush and very, you know, doesn't know how she feels because now she's being treated nicely and she's like, oh my god, what the heck? What's going on? Now, the funny thing about the relationship, there's a point where they kind of talk and after another night together, and he finds out that Hazuki is 7 years older than him. So she's an older woman, he's a younger man. But the thing about that I find interesting about it is because it doesn't really matter. There's even a point where Hazuki, when he's leaving the second night, she's kind of questioning him. She's like, do you like me? And I love this because he really kind of pulls out the, I don't know, the Chad card. I don't want to use that term, but that's kind of it. He literally turns around, realizes he's still cross-dressed, walks up to her, plants a full kiss on her, goes, that's my answer, and then leaves. She gets embarrassed and happy and all that. So basically, now they're dating. This is a very good romance manga. Each chapter is kind of short, so right now there's only 35 chapters, but you would be able to catch up. But the thing I love about this is all the little things that they do with each other. Two great examples that I love that constantly pop into my brain. Hazuki messes up cooking. She's kind of a klutz, you know. She mixes up salt and sugar. She's that kind of klutz. Luckily for her, Iori is used to fixing up the mess-ups of his sister, so he fixes the meal and turns it into something even better than what she was planning, and she just is like super happy. She hugs him. She's like, I'm so glad I have you. And then there's another point where she wants to give him a gift because, you know, now that they're dating and all that. And I find this completely adorable because I actually looked it up. There's actual meanings behind this. She gives him one earring and puts it on his left ear. Now, of course, he's confused. He's like, well, why one earring? She shows that she put the other one on her left ear. See, the thing about the left ear is having a gift from your significant other and placing it on the left ear means protection. Means I will protect you, you will protect me. And he just finds that, you know, very adorable. And the two of them just interacting with each other. A manly dressed, you know, older woman and a cross-dressing pretty boy, they just fit together. And I'm sorry, even though it's 35 chapters, each one is short, when I see a new chapter come out, I'm like, I gotta read it. Well, folks, that's my manga recommendation for you this week. What do you think? Do you like these kind of romance stories? I find them hit or miss, so when I find one that I really enjoy, I have to do it. What about the whole cross-dressing thing? Are you into that kind of thing? Do you know people who are? Do you think you could pull it off? I know I can't, unfortunately, but let me know in the comments below. Anyways, folks, I'm the Noob. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch y'all next time. See ya.